education. When he drew on the board, it was so precise. He would draw the feet of the players when they'd step.
Coach Landry prepared every offense and every defensive game plan. I've never seen any coach, do that.
Tom Landry's mind was constantly at work. In New York, he drew up the 4-3 defense, still a standard over 50 years later. In Dallas, he kept innovating.
Everything in defense and offense is evolution. As we moved into the 60s, the offenses were able to influence the 4-3 and keep us from doing the things we did in the 50s.
One of the weaknesses of the 4-3 defense was the ability for guards or even tight ends on a double team block to come in and get to the middle linebacker and seal that off.
What we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
Coach Landry's flex defense was designed with the intent, number one, of keeping the middle linebacker free.
We protect our middle linebacker. We've got to keep the big men off of him a little bit, and we think the flex does that.
Fumbles the football, the Cowboys recover it.
Very tough to go against that Dallas flex defense.
And it was a combination of two defensive linemen tight to the line of scrimmage with two defensive linemen off the line of scrimmage.
We just try to offset some of our linemen to give us in a better position to control the types of blocking that they use today.
It's all about angles. It's all about math. It's all about engineering. It's all about Tom Landry's education. It all fit.
They cannot run against the Cowboys.
It developed Doomsday 1, it developed Doomsday 2, two of the greatest defenses in NFL history. The NFL is such a Me Too league, a copycat league, but nobody copied the flex despite its success because of one simple reason. Nobody could teach it.
These things that we take for granted in the modern game, that the offense is going to come out with one look and then shift into another look. Landry was on the very cutting edge of that.
The offensive line always came up in a two-point stance and stand straight up and then go down. And when they stood up, that's when the backs shifted. The line standing up was kind of a screen, if you will, for the linebackers to see the final formation of the backs. Also, it's a little bit distracting. Whatever calls you had to make defensively, you would have to make them, then you'd have to change them when they shifted, then you'd have to change them again when they shifted, and then the ball would be snapped.
Roger back to throw across the middle. Pearson wide open, touchdown.
The thing that proves Tom Landry is a genius is that in the mid-70s, he comes up with the offense of the 21st century.
Shotgun, here it is.
Now, some teams in the NFL use a shotgun more than 50% of the time.
They go from the shotgun. Roger looks left, fires it out there, caught by Tony Hill. Touchdown, Cowboys!
I don't know why, but I just have the feeling that Tom Landry might have a gadget that he might want to use.
He didn't want to call them gadget plays. He wanted to be plays that, had execution. And so he called them exotic plays.
And then hands it back to Staubach.
How about Flea Flicker City?
Staubach going deep for Tony Hill, who's all alone. Caught, touchdown!
When I was the defensive coordinator of the Giants, you had to be ready for some type of unusual deceptive play, reverses, flea flickers, double passes, halfback passes, end arounds, all those kind of things.
2 plays later, Ditka got 17 on a tight end around.
It was a chance for him to show off a little bit. Look at the big brain on Tom.
Other teams had to strain to adapt to the Landry methods.
Tom Henderson, number 56, a rookie, went 53 yards.
He recognized the value of the bold move. You didn't see it in his suits or his hats, but you saw it in the way his team played on the field.
But this one's going to be a halfback option. Renzel all by himself.
Here again is another lesson for us all. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report, because without you guys, this literally does not work as we sit 116 days, 23 hours, 14 minutes, and 45 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods up here. Now, I played that clip for a major reason, because that was the team of my youth. That was Tom Landry, and as I call, it's out of sync still? Don't tell me it's out of sync. Don't tell me it's still out of sync. Lordy. Is it out of sync? It is out of sync. I'm going to have to I think, take the software. The software did an update, and it's probably in the update. Your voice is out of sync again. Damn. Okay. Well, we'll just keep this a short stream then. I apologize. I think I'm going to have to reinstall the software because it's definitely doing something different. And I'm not sure what it is. And the only thing I can do is rip it out and start all over. But I'm going to just go ahead and, you know what, we're going to work through it. We're going to work through it, Stephanie. I'm sorry. It's, you know, just don't even look at me. Just don't look at me. I'm going to, as soon as I get finished with the stream, I'm just going to wipe everything out and just start.
The audio is good, but it's out of sync.
We'll delete it and go back through and see if that does it. But anyway, I played the clip of Tom Landry and the 70 Dallas Cowboys. My football guys up here. You got an echo now. Damn.
Well, who are they? Oh.
Okay, that should take care of the echo. Okay. All right, is the echo there? Hopefully the echo's not there. Okay.
Oh,
all right. Hopefully I can get this thing going. Start twisting the knobs.
I think Seattle had two.
But I put up Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys because the Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys were innovators. They did things that nobody else did. You know, they looked and got Bob Bullet Hayes, track star, known as the fastest man alive. People weren't thinking about track stars in football, yet he's in the Hall of Fame. You looked at that crazy shift. We actually did that shift in high school. You know, boom. They would stand up and they would shift in about 6 inches or shift out, back, forward, and all that. It was a way of disguising what the play was going to be or where the hole was going to be. You know, the shotgun, which is still used everywhere, as well as the 4-3 defense. And the amazing thing about this was Tom Landry was the offensive and defensive coordinator for the whole team. Everything, and I mean everything, went through Tom Landry, which is unbelievable in today's game. Now, I got to be honest with you. I look at this team that we have right now. We got all the talent in the world. I will take our team, the 53 people that will end up being our team, and I'll put them against anybody else, talent to talent, man to man. We got a great running back. We got a good quarterback. We've got a great offensive line. We got wide receivers.
The guy that picked up the.
We got a Hall of Fame tight end that's a little bit slower. We got a good defense. What we need, though, is we need some innovation. We can't just line up man on man and say a hat on a hat and we're going to win every play, because you're not. Understand what Bill Belichick does. Bill Belichick has players that fit a role. They may only play 8, 9, 10 plays, but there's something special about what they do. He uses not just the 22 starters on offense and defense. He's using people 35, 36, 37. He's using the whole roster. And every week, he's going to come up with some shit that you've never seen before to keep you off balance. And I'm looking at all these comments about the Chinese movies, man. Damn, this is driving me crazy. Maybe I'll just kill this since it's not my normal night, man. Damn, I hate when this kind of thing happens. And I don't know why it's lagging, because we rebooted. Audio is 1 to 2 seconds ahead of video. I wonder if it could be something wrong with my computer. No, it's got to be the software.
Yeah, it has to be with the software, because
it has to be
the software. It's something with the software. Because it would probably do the same thing when I live stream.
Have you live stream with? Okay.
And I never had that problem. So I think it's something with the software.
Maybe I need to go and then say something. How about that? Hello? Okay. Well, like I said, we're just going to do a short stream anyway because I'm kind of tired. But I want to welcome into the studio E2Blu and Michael Anthony Fitness. How are you guys doing over there?
Alive.
You guys alive. You guys are alive and in living color.
We chilling, man. We chilling.
E2Blu.
Still trying to get over this cold.
Yeah, E2's not feeling real well and everything else. I'm just going to ask you guys a couple of questions real quick, and then we'll, like I said, we're going to kill this Chinese karate movie over here. Okay?
What you got?
It's all good.
You restarted your. No, it's not your. It's sorry. We're having technical difficulties. This is where I need to actually upgrade some equipment and things, and we're still working on that. So.
It worked.
What did?
Picture?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we got picture. Yeah,
I'm looking at my subscriber count going up
eventually,
again.
we're going to be able to get this thing all the way running so it's actually perfected. And see, actually, E2Blu and Michael Anthony actually are having a food coma from the chicken wings and the bang shrimp and stuff, so they're a little tired right now.
Well, I'm actually still lethargic because I'm technically still sick. I've been pushing myself to even like get up and do live streams and stuff for the fans, but
you know,
I really haven't been well. But I just been doing it for everybody else.
That's
you know
24
what I mean?
hours.
How many?
100 subscribers less than 24 hours.
Dang, 100 subscribers in 24 hours?
I said less than 24 hours. I put that video up like at 2, 3 in the morning.
All right, so
thank you,
anybody
Moore.
who's in here,
Thank
check out Michael Anthony's page and subscribe to it. He's got 100 subscribers in the last 24 hours. Shout out to
No, thanks to Colin Moore.
Thanks to Kellen Moore.
And him here, Dak Prescott.
You bastard, you died today. Say what? Well, here's the thing. The reason I show that is, one, because I get a lot of grief because of my football gods up here. And people don't take I got a long message from a fan yesterday she said her husband loves the show and stuff, but they can no longer in good conscience watch the show because I talk about the football guys. It's not meant to be disrespectful. We all strive to be God-like, to be perfect, to be forgiving, to be without sin. And when I look at Tom Landry and those original Dallas Cowboys, what they did, they're about as close to God-like on the football field as anybody. So, relax. I'm not starting a new religion. I'm not worshiping or, praying to them or anything else, burning candles and things like that. And it's definitely better than the voodoo doll, you must admit, right?
I just don't. Again, it was a term of endearment. It wasn't.
That's the way I look at it.
We're not talking about praising to these guys. It's to show respect for these guys that were greats at what they did.
That's what I would.
It's okay. Nowadays we call it GOAT. Back then they called it gods. You're just calling what it was originally called a term of endearment of giving them I guess.
I mean, call it whatever you want to, but
in today's time, that's what it would be considered as a GOAT.
The Cowboys called laugh out loud. I like that.
People get triggered when you say
people are petty, man.
They get triggered when you hear God and talk about church.
I've talked about this a little bit in some of my videos. I talked about this with my man E2Blu. Definitely, listen, if you're on here and you're not already subscribed to E2Blu, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? My man is actually drove all the way over here in the rain to break into my house so he can do a live stream for you guys. That's right. He broke into my house to sit right here and do a live stream, sick as hell. Now, I'll probably re-catch it again, my damn self. But
I know, don't let me catch it before I go out this week.
Check him out. He works really, really hard at doing what we all do, which is bringing you the news on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we got talking on his live stream that Kellen Moore might be the answer.
I mean, he got Dak Prescott. He's the reason why they got Dak Prescott.
Here's the thing.
Because he did his homework. From what I heard, he did his homework about Dak Prescott and watched him in college and all his highlights and stuff. And he's the one that brought him to their attention. They weren't even thinking about Dak Prescott before the Senior Bowl.
Well, see, if they watched the Joe Blue Sports Report, they would have known.
I'm talking about before the Senior Bowl. They weren't even thinking about Dak Prescott until he brought it up to their attention.
Well, see.
Or he wasn't on their radar if they brought it up to their attention before the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, this is true. Well, again, if they watched the Joe Blue Sports Report, they would.
But like I said, Kellen Moore's doing his homework before that video even came out.
Well, I agree. Yeah, 100%. They definitely did. But here's the thing, and I'm hoping that he is going to be an innovator in things. He's already got the players on his side. One of the biggest problems, I believe, with the last regime was the players didn't believe.
The biggest thing is, and this is what I was saying earlier, is that Dak Prescott is having more input and he's feeling more comfortable in his offense.
Mm-hmm.
When your quarterback is comfortable and he feels like he has input in what's going on, he feels like he can control that offense much better. So you're going to see less of him trying to figure things out in the pocket and end up getting sacked because, one, you got Jason Witten back, so you got your security blanket back.
Amen. Oh my God.
Two,
people don't know how big that is.
Two, with the options that Kellen Moore is going to give him, he's going to be able to do some other things and not have to worry about getting reprimanded for some bullshit.
Well, the other thing with that
he's not stubborn either.
Right. Well, the other thing
and that's
with
what
that
Kellen Moore said. I'm not going to be stubborn. I'm going to let the guys put some input into it. Unlike Scott Linehan.
You know, Scott Linehan is basically going to say, run what I call. There's going to be some things that you look at and say, you know what, I'm not really that good at that. Let's do, look, can we do something like this because I feel like I'm good at it? Because you notice something with Dak Prescott, he's Mr. Fourth Quarter. When it's that last drive and we're in no huddle or at the half, how comfortable he looks and how well the offense moves. I wish I had the statistics on his QBR when they're in no huddle and he's calling his own plays versus when Scott Linehan. I guarantee you that the numbers are through the roof.
Oh, definitely.
And that's where you have so much of what Scott Linehan is doing. Like we were discussing about Amari Cooper in the Eagles game, where he was saying we need to do the go route. We've been doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's not working.
Yeah.
So
Kellen Moore have been okay with that. Kellen Moore have been okay with that. Did you see his interview he did?
No, that's everybody told me about.
You have to watch it because it's really good. Because he puts Scott Linehan under the bus.
Mm-hmm. Who did?
Kellen Moore. He said, I'm not going to be stubborn. I'm going to actually listen to my players.
Yeah.
And that's basically put Scott Linehan under the bus.
And he should say that.
And then he said something about...
But you're not going to hear Dak say that because that's just...
Of course not. Because
Dak has to say the right thing.
And then they said something about Amari Cooper before they asked about Amari Cooper. I think he said something like, I'm actually going to listen to my players, and if they have input, I'm going to have them put input or something to that effect.
Well, I think Dak Prescott is actually going to be a politician when he's done with football because he knows how to ride the fence and be in the middle and things.
That's what you have to do in football. You have to be neutral.
E2, you need some cold meds, man.
Huh?
You need some cold meds over there.
I'm alright.
I got some third.
When you're in football, you have to be neutral.
Up, I think.
We can do it after you get off.
Okay, all right. For everybody, poor E2 is not feeling too good. He's under the weather. He's got that heebie-jeebies I have. Really good interview, Mike Landry. Yeah, you watched it? Okay. I got to watch it. I didn't see it. Believe me, I've been cooking chicken wings.
Let's go to the Dallas Cowboys YouTube page. They'll be on there.
Barbecue and everything else. So I've been running around like a wild man. But I appreciate everybody coming in here. Sorry about the lagging on the system. I'm going to have to go through and I think I'm going to have to wipe and just start all over again on the
that's actually really good
software
there.
to find out why it's lagging. But what I'm hoping we'll see, because you got now, like the clouds have parted and the sun is shining and everything else, you got now the attention of the players. The players are believing in Kellen Moore. They're feeling like they're part of the solution for the Dallas Cowboys. And they're able to put input. And that's where Kellen Moore needs to come up with some nice plays that's going to make people happy.
And it doesn't have to be anything like outrageous or off the wall. It's at this point, all we need is just minor quirks that is different than what we normally do. Because, like you said before, their whole philosophy was, we know you know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do it because that's what we're good at. We're gonna ram it down your damn throat.
Right.
But you can't keep doing that. You can't keep banging your head against a brick wall. You got to figure some things out. You got to come with adjustments, and you have to. You know how they say, take what the defense gets you? But how about you go into a game and you dictate what goes on? You run your game plan, and depending on what goes on, you adjust, and you make the right adjustments, and you make minor tweaks. You don't have to go overboard with doing all this wildcat, and you don't have to do all of that. Play the game that you play and be confident in what you're doing. That's it.
Amen to that one. Okay. But, and listening to these rookies, these guys aren't looking to say, I'm a backup. These guys are out here wanting to become starters. And some of these guys, we're going to have some
Joe.
people out there that are going to be surprising people.
Yeah, what is it, Joe Jackson? So I when I asked him if he was nervous, I saw the interview.
I love both of these Jackson guys.
No, he's like I want to get on that field. Put me on that field. Forget about the nervousness. Put me on that field. Because he might be taking somebody's job. Tucker.
Well, you know what? We're going to see. I think we're actually going to see a bunch of veterans that we're going to be
I think Taco might be one of them too.
Now, every year we always have somebody who nobody knows anything about that comes around. We saw that with Antoine Woods last year.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen that with George
Terrell McClain.
Terrell McClain, right. So,
and the unsung hero and my pet cat this offseason, Christian Covington.
You think so?
Yes.
He's got the size. And he's got, working with, Rod Marnelli. He is the defensive line whisperer, or he's like Yoda. In fact,
I feel like every lineman that we get from the Texans ends up being very well for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they do over there and the players that they have fits the defensive tackles, that is, fit very well with what Marinelli does.
Well, when you think, here's the kind of thing that's kind of amazing. Now we get Taco, of course, has not worked out yet. But like we were talking about, here's the thing. If you thought about DeMarcus Lawrence, and when I say DeMarcus Lawrence, you can't compare him. But DeMarcus Lawrence, his rookie year, stayed injured, except for the Detroit Lion game, in which case he ended up having 2 sacks. Junebug, thank you very much for the super chat. Katie calls it. Katie called it right on out of here. Yeah, she's got a bunch of things that are going on, and she really got back into church, and she's writing a children's book. And so
she got off YouTube.
Yeah, she got off YouTube. She basically, I think she gets bored easy and just jumps from thing to thing to thing. So that's what happened with Katie Calls It. She called up to something else.
And it's the off season. She don't.
Well, the thing was, she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do. It's hard when you first start out with YouTube trying to figure out what you want your channel to be. It's easy for me because, I just started talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And everything in my life has always been about the Dallas Cowboys.
You're at that point.
And Lord knows the Dallas Cowboys always have some shit going on, excuse my language. So
of course
it's easy
they do.
For me.
When the number one franchise in the world, there's always something going on.
Right. Really, Tony? Come on, Tony. Let's do me one favor, people. I know some of you guys are like 8-year-old kids out, and things like that, having fun and things. But seriously.
That's too funny.
Seriously, let's kind of keep this stuff to real talk. Okay, if you want to say that our team sucks or our quarterbacks, okay, I get you that. But come on, let's keep those lewd comments and stuff out of there, okay? Think Katie will be back when we start plowing through teams. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But we're going to be, regardless.
Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, we're going to be here regardless during the season.
Your girl might be on there.
You wish you had a nickel every time. Yeah, well.
You know which one I'm talking about.
You wish you had a nickel every time Evan ran a lead draw. This is true. This is true, but here was the thing. You had the best offensive line in football that stayed healthy. The last couple of years, our offensive line has not been the best football, offensive line in football. Okay, we've had a lot of injuries. We've had some guys out and so on, and we've had some transitions. So, yes, that does work when you are dominating the other teams, but we haven't been in that position. But here's the thing. They also had a Michael Irvin who could also take it all the way. They also had an Alvin Harper who could go across the middle and take it all the way. They also had a Jane Novacek who was a security blanket. So when you looked at that, everything benefited each other. Okay, Michael Irvin was open because you had to worry about that lead draw with Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was open because you had to worry about oh my God. I had to worry about Michael Irvin being able to go deep, or Alvin Harper. So all these things are pick your poison. And that's where our offense needs to be now. We can't just be no motion, no pre-snap motions, anything like that. Everybody's lining up in the same position. We need to change things up. Sometimes you might need to take Amari Cooper and put him in the slot, okay? and
he can play all three.
12 person. Oh, right. Do a bunch formation, do some motions and stuff, do some changing up. Hell, throw the ball to Dak once in a while. Okay, do some things that keep people guessing.
First of all, with Kellen, don't be surprised if you see Dak getting a pass thrown to him.
I'd love to see that.
Because Tony Pollard can actually throw the ball.
Tony Pollard, I think, is actually going to be doing quite a bit of playing for our team. And I think that Tony Pollard may be the end of Austin on the team.
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. Tavon's been going at it hard this offseason.
Yeah, but you look at what Tony Pollard. If Tony Pollard plays well in preseason, Austin will be gone.
I could see it.
Because here's the thing, you think about what Tony Pollard's costing you, versus Austin.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard's not costing you $500,000.
That
but they're not paying Tavon a lot either. He's on a 1-year contract.
Right, but again, you can still cut him and save some. Because here's the thing, and you're going to look at. I'm sorry, there's 3 guys that I say that have to watch their back.
And we'll have over $80 million in salary cap next year. We're good.
Well, but that'll get eaten up real quick when you have a quarterback that's getting 30. But 3 guys that have to watch their back.
I still don't think he's getting 30.
Lyle Collins.
He'll be under 30.
Tyrone Crawford and Allen Hurns. If these rookies do well, I can see the team cutting those guys because we're talking about, let's see, Tyrone Crawford 5.5, Austin 5. That's
What's
10.
crazy is let's not forget what Tyrone Crawford has done, though.
Huh?
Let's not forget about what Tyrone Crawford has done.
I understand that.
He's done a lot of that dirty work on the inside that nobody's seeing.
Yeah, but now you got a Tristan Hill.
How much?
Understand? The amazing
cost
thing is the conversations that we have as Cowboy players, they never have with New England. New England never, although they bring back
because they just cut
Benjamin Watson.
But
they did bring him back.
I'm honest with you. I'm so sick of the Patriot comparison. Like we're not them. We can't do what they do. Not yet. Not right now.
You have to start.
We have the players to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we have the leadership yet to do it. I think that when Jason Garrett ultimately is gone, then I'll give it a little bit more credit.
Mr. Truckey's back in the house. How you doing, Mr. Truckey? I actually will say we did a major New England.
I know, right,
No,
Mr. Truckey?
No.
I'm sick, man.
Here, let me give you the perfect example of a New England type move. DeMarco Murray.
I was actually shocked that they allowed him to go and not pay.
But here's the thing. See, you look at it the wrong way. When you let go DeMarco Murray, we got a compensatory pick. A 4th round. Guess who we got with that compensatory pick?
Zeke Elliott and
you got Dak Prescott.
And you got Zeke Elliott out of need.
Okay.
We got Dak Prescott because we let him go. And here's the thing that was one of those things that would have literally changed our franchise had we kept him. Because think about it. We kept him, you wouldn't have drafted Zeke. Right? Because you already had DeMarco Murray. And more than likely, 2015, we would have played a little bit better and not been in position to draft him.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have the quarterback that we have. So it's amazing how when you make one of these moves, it doesn't seem like.
But again, you never know. It's always a lottery thing. You don't know what's going to happen until it happens.
True, but here's the thing you do know. The Dallas Cowboys, when it comes to finding players through the draft, have drafted probably better than anybody. You look at how many Pro Bowl players that are all homegrown talent. They hit on the offensive line every single time.
Yeah.
With first-round picks. We're talking all pros on the offensive line. There's only 2 picks, number ones, that you can look back since 2010 that haven't panned out.
The Glass Man, Taco.
Right.
And maybe Taco.
And how many teams have done that well with first-round picks?
New England never does go for first-round picks.
Not only that, you look at some of the picks that we've done that were guys that you kind of.
But they have a lot of them, so they have options.
That could have been first-round talents, but you got later on. Sean Lee, Jalen Smith.
Lyle Collins.
You could say Randy Gregory if he ever comes back. But regardless of how you look at that, the Cowboys are better off picking up players to the draft than anywhere else. So letting those guys go, work for those compensatory picks, and start looking at these guys that you're drafting as the future, I think that you start looking at, because what you want to do, and especially now that you have to pay Dak and Amari and Zeke, those are your core group of guys. Now what you have to start looking at is we got to find good young players that are cheap, because when you're draft pick, you're cheap.
Yeah.
Until you get that contract. And that's where New England is. And I know, I'm not saying we're New England, but you start looking and saying, what are they doing to stay consistently on top? And what they're doing is they're constantly reloading. And they don't hit all the picks. But when you got 12 picks, you don't have to hit on all.
That's why I just said that. I said that because they have so many picks every year. Like the Cowboys, if we didn't trade back in the later rounds, we'd only had 6.
Exactly.
And you better hit on every one of them.
They got 12. Okay? They had twice the number of draft picks that we had. So you're able to keep refilling and restocking. So that's the game that they're playing. And we're beginning to learn how to play it. We're learning that let's put these veterans on 1-year deals. Forget signing a $55 million deal for a branded car. Because that was money that he didn't get hurt. He didn't get interceptions. He wasn't the player. You thought you were getting a shutdown corner. But he was not a shutdown corner. He was never going to be that. But he was being paid like one. Thank you, Mr. Truckee. Michael Anthony Fitness, keep up the hard work in the gym. Mark, I'm always here, just working, bro. I'm always working too, man. I appreciate it. Kathy Green, how you doing tonight? Been hearing about the floods and stuff out there. Yeah, the Mississippi, they're talking about that thing not going down until maybe June. Back in this bank. It's bad.
Oh.
Guy on the right looks like he's high.
Who's the guy on the right?
Mike.
Are they new subscribers that don't know who we are?
I guess they're not high. They're actually a
who the hell is Guy?
Yeah, I'm just watching the NFL Network.
Slater invested. My guy was up. Okay.
I'm just watching NFL Network while I have a conversation. That's all.
Oh, speaking of that, Mark, you remember in my laundry room where that thing was leaking? It's still doing it.
Laundry room. What is?
You know, above my laundry room, remember when you had painted it over and you had noticed before
when you've
it was leaking? Where the light is?
The ductwork? It's above the ductwork. Have you been using the AC?
No, I think it's coming from the shower. Because you know my bedroom shower is directly above that.
Well, I'd come over and take a look at it, but your wife told me to get the F out her house.
It wasn't that. That's something totally different.
That was something totally different. But anyway.
Okay, so we'll have to take a look at that, but probably it's one of 3 things. It's either the drain line, or it's the supply itself in the wall, or it needs to be sealed up because you're splashing a whole lot of water on the floor.
I think that might be what it is. But
water on the floor?
I don't know, but I just need you to look at it when you get a chance.
All right, so here we are at Mark Holmes Home Improvements now.
Wait. You need to switch channels?
Right. Can't live stream yet.
Can't live stream yet. Channels to Joe Boo's day job right now.
On the phone, but switch channels.
Well, Lloyd, I'm glad you enjoyed stuff. South of Heaven, man, how you doing, my man? Not surprised about the Mississippi River flooding. There's been a ton of rain. You know, we've had so much rain in the last year here on the East Coast. It's been crazy. In fact, it's pouring outside right now. I got to go back out there in the rain to get this other port shoulder and stuff out. I was going to watch ESPN, but then I got high. Now I'm watching you on YouTube with all, because I got high. Damn. You fans, I tell you, crawfish in the floodwaters. Mr. Truckee. Okay. Well, get a net out there, man. Get dinner.
Oh. You hear about Marshawn Lynch?
But he's talking about coming back.
No.
I thought he retired again.
He retired, but he said he'd come back if they need him.
No.
What? To which team? To
talking
Oakland
about
or
James?
I'm talking about when he was with the AAF. He did an interview for Vaughn,
I hope you're right. The Kelmore will be the difference maker.
No. He just did an interview because his cousin.
I'm about to say Trent Richardson.
Oh, well, one of them was $5,000 and won all the quarters. That was actually done. The other one still has a little bit of time to go, but we got it low and slow, so we're in good shape.
I feel sorry for those AAF players.
Oh, they screwed the AAF players.
I mean, but I think 50 of them are on NFL rosters right now.
Some of them are getting like medical bills and things now.
Oh, that's the ones that you feel sorry for, the ones that hurt, because after they folded that month after, they're not paying for it anymore. They actually have a lawsuit against them too right now. A couple of the players are putting a lawsuit.
How are you able to have a whole league?
Sheila, I'm ready for some football big time. Oh, my God.
The other day, too, is the wrong time of the year to be
All
having
right,
football
so
because so much
since
going on.
we are lagging and that we've been having so many problems over here
Well, what
on
made
our
it unfold? Did they not get enough viewership?
on our
Is that
stream,
what it was?
I'm going to go through
It's
and
a whole
I
bunch
am
of
going
stuff.
to
The NFL didn't want to do anything this year. They wanted to wait till next
basically
year.
reload
Like
this whole program. I might do a
XFL,
little
like the
test
XFL.
later.
Why just
And,
why bring
see
a
if
whole league out?
I
I
can
think the
get this
XFL will
straightened
do
out.
better because they're actually having legit
guys,
conversation with the
thank everybody for
NFL
tuning in.
and trying to work out
Do
a
me
deal.
one thing.
But
If
they're not going to
you
be.
are a
They're not going to
Dak
come up
Prescott,
until.
let me turn them off. If you are a Dak Prescott fan, please check out my interview with his uncle, Philip, because it'll be a changer for you. Because finding out some of the stuff about Dak Prescott growing up for me was freaking incredible. And let me change up the camera. There we go. For me, it was freaking incredible being able to talk to him. And I think it's really great. And I think I would love to be able to spread that around so as many people get it. Yeah, Mike Weber tweaked his knee a little bit this morning. They're going to get an MRI. I don't think it's major. It wasn't carried off the field. It's just soreness in it. They're just checking it out. They over talking each. Yeah, they're trying to over talk on me. I turned the mic off on them.
Oh,
I did.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know. I forgot you still had to.
Oh no, I just need to learn how to use the system here. Give you guys. Hang on one second before I go. I want to show you guys something here. This will be interesting for you. Okay, let me show you guys one thing. Let's see. Actually, let me adjust this just a little bit more. Okay. Jimmy Fuller, thank you very much for the super chat. What I'm going to actually show you guys here is this is what I actually look at when I'm doing a live stream. I actually have the controls at the bottom here, which are actually all the inputs and everything else on there. I have the television screen up here so I can read the chats. The camera is actually, this is one of the cameras right here that we're actually looking at. So I'm looking at this, I'm reading this, and then everything over in here is all the stuff that is previewed to go ahead and change it up. And this is actually our mic mixer. And I can pull any of these inputs and put them up there so that way we change it around. So it's a little bit complex. I'm learning how to use the system. I actually got it. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm learning how to use it. I'm learning how to use it and stuff. It's a lot to get used to. I got to find out why it's lagging. I think that's something in the software, so I'm going to actually wipe it out of the system and reload it and see if I can get it. But it's been crazy because I have it's no Dak Ninja. It's not the mixer that needs help. It's actually the person using the mixer. It was actually, I had the echo on for the super chats. Audio is a lot closer in time, but motorboating. Oh, okay. Hey.
Stop! I can't. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Motorboat. Hey, it's gonna be one of those kind of party nights. Mark is a robot. Laugh out loud. Okay, I got it back on. Sorry, that was good. That was good. That I was motorboating. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna go ahead and work on this. I might do a little test stream a little bit later, but thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely check out that interview with Philip Ebarb. Great guy. Helped raise Dak Prescott, and you will actually learn a lot about it. But guys, as always, you know, all of us are working hard. Michael Anthony Fitness, check his channel out, like and subscribe it. E2Blu, same thing. Everybody here works really, really hard at trying to give you guys the best content and everything else. When you have the other camera on, what? There you go, that's better. Was it? Hold it. Did it stop? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me do a test here. Hold on. Maybe it's the Mevos. Let me see. Let me know if it's still lagging when I switch the cameras. Let me go over here again. Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. You probably don't hear me because the microphone is all the way over here. But, excuse me. Let me know if it's still lagging, because then it at least isolates whether or not it's the other cameras, the wireless cameras, if they're behind, or if it is actually the software. Am I still lagging?
I'm waiting for it to catch up.
Oh, he's still waiting for it to catch up because, of course, it takes time for it to come out my mouth, to go into the camera, to go down the wire.
In real time. It's the Mevo.
It's the Mevos. Oh. Okay, so then let me shut them down and start them over then. That's interesting. It's the Mevos. So we're in good sync now.
So it's not the software.
When you're using that camera, it's in good sync.
It's in sync now.
It's the Mevo that's making it lag.
Okay, so let me restart them. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and do a restart, and I'm going to come back in just a few minutes if that's okay. I just want to at least do a test on that and find out if that's the problem. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'm going to go back over here.
That's what it is.
That's weird.
I didn't know Jim Zorn played for the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, so.
You know the Seattle Seahawks are only team.
After the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.